For this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to use two layer adjustments, one being color lookup and the other being the gradient map, and using those in order to create the illusion that there is a filter over your photograph. So this is really easy to do. Obviously, with any photograph, you're going to want to make a retouch layer where you do actual manipulating of your photograph. The first layer adjustment that I'm going to show you though is the color lookup, and that is this adjustment right here that my mouse is circling around. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. There are two different drop-down menus that you can go through that will actually change the overall color application to your photograph based on where colors are already located in your image. And there are quite a few if you go to this first drop down menu. So we've got 2 strip, we've got 3 strip, that looks really nice, bleach bypass, which really kind of blows out the colors, candlelight, which creates sort of a soft warmer look, crisp warm, crisp winter, which adds some more blue tones, drop blues, which should get rid of our blues. Edgy amber adds some orange tones, fall colors, film stock, that's really beautiful too. We'll scroll down all the way here to the bottom, late sunset, that'll give us some sort of purplish and orangish hues, moonlight, etc. So color lookup is really cool because it actually ends up changing the overall color of your image. Let's go ahead and go to, I think I really liked 3 strip. Let's do, there we go, crisp warm, that looks good. So what we can do with this, which is really awesome, is rather than just making it super saturated and kind of vibrant, so before and after, you can use the opacity adjustment, which is right over in your layers panel, and you can lower that to kind of tone it down. So if I set this to 50%, that means that the color lookup adjustment that I just did is only going to be applied to my photograph at 50%. So if I turn my eyeball off and on, it's still there, but it's a little more subtle than having it at 100% opacity, okay? So we'll lower that. So that's one way that you can create somewhat of a filter for your image. You could even lower that further if you wanted it to be even more subtle. Okay, so before and after. So there you'll notice that it's very, very subtle. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete that. And then using gradient maps to also create filters, and this one can be a little bit tricky because the colors don't apply nicely or naturally to the image as the color lookup does. So if you click on a gradient map, you can click this drop down menu and open up any of these right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and select the purple and orange, okay? And what that does is that applies purple and orange to the tones or the shadows and the highlights in my photograph, okay? If I wanted to adjust this gradient map further, I could click anywhere where this color is transitioning and then adjust and add colors to it if I wanted to as well. So you can add a slider, choose a color by double clicking. Let's choose a blue for fun. Click OK, and then click OK again, and that will apply your new gradient map. You can also pull a slider down, okay, just by clicking and dragging, and that will eliminate that color, okay? So with gradient maps, if you're going to use this as a filter, what you'll need to do is go to the opacity, and you'll want to lower that pretty significantly because this obviously is pretty artificial unless you're doing some more like graphic design work. If you're trying to edit a photograph and you want it to have a subtle sort of filter or change of color, then you'll have to adjust the opacity. So I set my opacity right here to about 30% for this. So this was before and this was after. And you'll notice that I still have some of those purple tones kind of right in here, which we saw originally. And then I have some orangish tones right here as well. So again, before and after. Okay. Again, if I have that all the way up to 90% or 100% or really even, let's see, 60%, it's pretty obvious that there is an actual color change of the image. So before and after. I personally really like to use the gradient map tool, and let's go and edit this adjustment, for black and white photographs, and I'll set that to 100%. So this actually, I think, creates a really nice black and white sort of transition of your image rather than using the actual black and white layer adjustment, which is located right here. So that is using color lookup and gradient maps to create filters for your images.